Hi guys, my name is Korpen, and it occurred to me while playing my regular M4 yesterday that for you who don't know how to knock out the T-34, I should probably make a video with some hints and some advice about how to knock out the T-34 and where to aim. This is not going to be a general historical tank anatomy video, you know. Like where I go over the different weak zones of the tank, where the German tankers would aim, or the Korean US tankers would aim when they faced the T-34s. No, this is going to be where to aim to knock out a T-34 in War Thunder, in realistic battles and in simulator battles, or even in AB arcade. You could use this if you don't want to rely on the plus marker where to aim. So for starters, I'm just going to present the T-34s. We have the T-34 model 1940. There's the model 1941 with longer cannon. You have the 42 model with the almost like a nut shaped turret. And also the fuel tanks here at the back. And then last but absolutely not least, you have the T-34-85, a beast of a tank that saw service from 1944 and onwards during World War II. So all of them, except for this one, has a two-man turret. And what does that mean? Well, in game terms, it means that if you face a T-34, aim for the right side of the turret, somewhere where the turret is flat, preferably here on the T-34-85, because if you penetrate the turret there, you kill the gunner and you kill the commander. And once you've done that, the tank is out of action for a brief while, at least until you get to reload the gun and then fire again. What you will do is that you will aim for the gunner again to kill the gunner or the commander, depending on which of the other guys in the tank has replaced the gunner, because the tank needs a gunner. So if the gunner dies, he will be replaced. So literally that's the only spot you need to mind. You know, try to pinpoint this gunner's aim and just fire at that, or the area right here. If you do that and you repeat it a number of times and you don't get interrupted, you will have the upper hand in the duel. And you will kill the tank. Unless you're using a large caliber gun that takes forever to reload. That might be the case. Another good place to aim would be anywhere here where it's yellow. That piece of the tank, or that flat rolled homogeneous armor, is fairly weak, you know. What you want to avoid is to try to hit these things and the lenses here, the periscopes for the driver. For some kind of magical reason, these bits soaks up most shells that I fire at the T-34. It doesn't matter whether it's the T-34-85 or T-34 model 1942, they have the same driver's hatch. If you hit this, you're not gonna kill the tank. And another thing that's worthy of noting, or taking notice of, is that most of the T-34s have their main ammo racks situated at the bottom of the tank, and that makes it fairly difficult to hit them. Of course, you could go for a low laser shot, but you really have to be lucky to hit the ammo rack. And as you can see here, they further increased the thickness of the armor here to protect the ammo racks behind them. So yeah, it's kind of hard to hit the ammo racks on the T-34 when facing it head on. What you might want to do is that if you face it from the side, you might aim for spots between road wheels, and this piece of unslope metal plate, if you hit it here, you can see here that it's basically not sloped at all. In fact, it isn't sloped at all. It's set so. Constructional armor slope angle 0. So if you hit it here, you will hit the fuel tanks and ammo racks, and you will kill drivers and crewmen. And that more or less goes for all the tanks. As you can see here, all the ammo is stored at the bottom of the tank. Also, if you hit this area here, it's if the tank is fully equipped with all the ammo that it can take, it's almost impossible not to hit the ammo rack if you fire at the T-34 from the side. From the front with the 1942 model, it's the same story. Here you might want to go for a turret ring shot, and that is the piece of the tank that turns around the turret. So if you jam this, or if you damage it in any way, the tank can't turn around the turret, and that's something that is fairly good in duel against the T-34. And the same thing here, if you aim to the right, you kill the gunner. In this case he's named Aimer, I don't know why. So go for a shot like that, aim anywhere here on the tank, or below the driver's hatch, like here. Maybe the shards will knock out the gunner. Before, I used to say that this machine gun port is a good place to aim, and it still is, but it's a bit trollish. If you're really unlucky, you will have weird bounces off the machine gun port here. But as you can see, the machine gun port has a sloped angle of 7 degrees to 14, and it's not really armored at all. And behind that you have the machine gunner, the loader, and then ammo rack here, and you have fuel tanks. So you would set the tank on fire if you penetrate the tank over here. But what you won't do is that you won't kill the gunner. And if you don't kill the gunner, rest assured that the T-34 will turn around the turret and answer the fire, and it will knock out your Panzer IV, F2, or whatever kind of tank you're driving in, because that's the rules in War Thunder. T-34s kills you if they know what they're doing. Now there's a lot of T-34 players that doesn't know what they're doing at all, so you might be lucky and run into one of those. On the T-34 1941, you have the same thing here with the periscope, weird thingy here for the driver. Do avoid aiming for that, because that will deflect the shot into the turret, and then the shot will just sing up into the sky or something like that. And the lens will also eat shots if you're really unlucky. And the driver's hatch can be trollish. If you're lucky, you will penetrate, but the best bet is to go for this piece of flat area right next to the gun, and or the turret ring, or this area down here, because that will channel the round into the tank and then down into the lap of the gunner. And yeah, if you have a sort of a shotgun blast of shards coming down aimed at your groin, and you're sitting next to an ammo rack and a few fuel tanks, that might end up in disaster. So, as I said, aim for the right side of the turret. It's actually a good thing to go for a machine gun port shot. But do please mind that you will only kill the machine gunner and the loader. The gun will still be loaded, and the gunner will still be alive and well enough to kill you with the next shot. And it's basically the same thing with the T-34 model 1940. They also have the ammo racks at the bottom of the tank. Now these tanks only have a few ready to go rounds on the side here. They have 9 rounds. So I think if the T-34 crew takes less than a full setup of rounds, these ammo racks will be empty, so this tank will be fairly hard to knock out by hitting the ammo rack. So once again, aim for the right side of the turret here, where the turret is not sloped. You can see the sloping here increasing as you go up or down from the center. So do aim for this bit of the tank. If you penetrate there, you will keep the gun out of play, and you will probably win the duel, unless you're really unlucky. So this has been an attempt to as quickly as possible just go through all the T-34s and where to aim on them to knock them out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I wish you best of luck out there on the battlefield. Hope you can use my tactics. I do use them and they're fairly successful. I never have a problem with T-34s if I play tanks that will go up against them. They can be hard to face if there are many of them rolling together, but that's the case with any kind of tank. You know, if you run into 3 locusts, they will be a pain in the ass to get rid of. Now, naturally, 3 T-34 1941s will also be a pain in the ass to get rid of and knock out. But it's doable, it's not impossible, not at all. So, thank you for watching guys, I've been Corbin, and I wish you a good day.